showing something good, I'll just go straight on the bench. What time's the moment of silence start?
Welcome everybody to the UCCU Center, home of the Utah Valley Wolverines. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening. Utah Valley taking on Seattle U. Tonight it's the salute to service tonight here at Utah Valley as we honor those brave men and women who sacrifice all that they do so tirelessly and thanklessly day in and day out so that we can enjoy the lives that we live. Here in Utah County this week we have had heavy hearts as we honor fallen officer Joseph Shinners, who died this week in the line of duty. As a grandson and cousin to an Army personnel, and as a son of a retired LA County Sheriff, we say thank you and God bless you for all that you do. And we hope that the next couple of hours we'll be able to give you some time of joy and entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we invite you to please stand and join us in recognizing Master Officer Joseph Shinners. Joseph Shinners completed the Utah Valley University Law Enforcement Academy and graduated in law. Joseph Shinners completed the Utah Valley University Law Enforcement Academy and graduated cum laude from the Criminal Justice Program. Shinners was appointed as the leader for Class 33 for his command presence and qualities of honor, integrity, and trust, and went on to serve our community as part of the Provo City Police Department. For his brave and gallant actions that night prevented harm to others, he was posthumously awarded the Portland Police Department Medal of Valor. Joseph Shinners exemplified the nobility of policing, of sacrifice and service. Please join us in a moment of silence for Master Officer Joseph Shinners. Thank you. Please remain standing and face the flag as we honor America with the national anthem performed by UVU graduate Heather Jackman.
Eyes on me! I'm Mark Pope, coach of the UVU men's basketball team. I want to thank Carlos Iglesias and Ken Garf Volkswagen for being a great friend of Utah Valley University athletics, basketball, volleyball, and everything else.
Thanks, Coach. We're proud to support a great program like Utah Valley University Sports. We wish the Wolverines a fantastic season.
You can thank Carlos too by visiting their new dealership today, Ken Garf Volkswagen. We hear you.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. with exclusive access
Ready to go? Let's have some fun.
and highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home or back into your pocket. To learn more, visit uccu.com/morehouse or stop by any UCCU branch today. More house, same payment. Only at UCCU. Inspiring smart mortgage decisions.
Dear James, when you were born, I nicknamed you Lucky. But luck has nothing to do with it. You've created your own path. The hours in our driveway paved the way to state championships.
So James Harden, how does it feel to be MVP?
You know, it feels great, though.
In the desert, you grew your game, and you shattered expectations. It wasn't long until you suited up for draft day.
James Harden.
Looking back now, you've always been creative. Doing it your way, on your terms. You were dreaming big then, but when you left me that note, keep this paper, I'ma be a star. You were already my brightest star.
MVP, baby!
Step back three, got it! James Harden!
And now, you're showing everyone else.
We're in the back really cooking food. You know, we take pride in all the food that we do. We make the meatballs from scratch. We make the pasta. What we're doing as a restaurant, making the community better, beautifying the community, increasing the culture in the community. And I think that that's such an important aspect to what we do as a restaurant, to recognize that our customers aren't just people who are coming in to dine with us, but they're part of our family.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the UCCU Center, home of the Utah Valley Wolverines. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker, thanking you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening here on the WAC Sports Digital Network, the KSL streaming app, Go UVU on the YouTube and Facebook channels as well. Well, on this week's episode of what happened in the Wild Wild Western Athletic Conference, Utah Valley and Seattle, you find yourselves both 0-2, looking for that first win in the conference, Holden. And it's going to be a wild and crazy time tonight.
Yeah, for both teams, it really is a must-win. As you look historically at the WAC, and both of these teams are trying to, not only play for seedings in the WAC tournament, but trying to win this thing outright. It's hard to win the WAC if you have more than 3 losses on your record going into within conference play.
These two teams split last year. Seattle U won a last-second shot. They won victoriously by 1 point in the Apple State, and then they came here to Utah Valley, UCCU Center, and they got trounced by Utah Valley. So there has been back-and-forth matches recently within this rivalry. Seattle U settles with the ball to start this game, but again, both teams very motivated. Coach Jim Hayford doing a tremendous job. The best 15-game start to this program's history since the 60s.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, that they started the season 12-4 and actually picked up 2 Pac-12 wins.
And that guy right there, Morgan Means, has been doing that all season long for him, averaging about 10 points or so a game. And look for him to continue to that dominance tonight.
Yeah, and they're really going to need Morgan Means. I know you're going to get to the lineups here as we kind of had a fast start to our broadcast, but Morgan Means, they're really going to need his scoring without Cavas in the game tonight.
Bailey Steele with the rebound and the putback. Delonte Jones, Terrell Brown, Riley Grigsby, Morgan Means, and Miles Carter on the floor for the Red Hawks. Big man doing work in the post. Isaiah White, Connor Toulson, Ben Nequasa, Bailey Steele, and Jake Toulson in the white and green for Utah Valley. Ben Nequasa, he's going to have a 3 of his own. That one rims off. Rebounded by the Red Hawks. Morgan Means past the timeline. Means with the hesitation. Nice bounce pass right in the gravy basket for Delonte Jones.
Delonte Jones is the leading scorer right now in WAC play, for Seattle U, averaging nearly 17 points a ball game and shooting well from the three-point line, over 60% from the three-point line.
Bailey Steele's going to try a three-pointer of his own. He rims off. That's something you don't see every day. But with Connor McDougal apparently sitting out tonight with an undisclosed injury for Utah Valley, looks like lots of other players are going to have to step up and maybe go out of their comfort zone to see what they can do. As Utah Valley's on the defensive side, 16 on the shot clock, and that's just high percentage from Miles Carter with the left hand.
And you're going to see how that's going to continue to wear on the Wolverines and why the absence of Connor McDougal is such a key part of this game, because Seattle U does have the size and can bring size off the bench to continue the battle down low.
Isaiah White gives to Benaquasa, nice bounce pass. Bailey Steele couldn't connect with it. That one's going to go out. And Coach Pope's going to have a quick substitution at the next opportune moment. TJ Washington will check in for Benaquasa. And based off of that, you can kind of tell that these guards are going to be on a short leash.
Yeah, I mean, as prolific as we are at reading stats, as media guys, the coaches look at these stats and they're averaging over 17 turnovers a game right now in WAC play, and so they're definitely going to be on a short leash. And that right there is the other statistic that I looked at. Turnovers and offensive rebounds. They're giving up over 15 offensive rebounds a game, getting out-rebounded in both contests, and you give up extra possessions not only on the offensive end, but then on the defensive end with offensive rebounds. It's tough to overcome.
That foul will go against Connor Toulson, and Miles Carter makes his first free throw. The redshirt junior from Chicago, Illinois. 6'9", 230. That's what they list him at. Carter drains both free throws to extend the lead for the Redhawks to 8, 10-2 to open up this first half here at the UCCU Center. Isaiah White at the elbow. Steele looking for some help. Gives to Washington. Washington looks for help as well. Connor Toulson now. He's going to drive it, taking himself high off the glass, missing. Carter quickly gives way to Means. Means now to Jones. Jones already hit a triple. He's going to drive it this time. He'll draw the foul and go to the free throw line, as it looks like Isaiah White was the culprit on that one.
You just kind of feel Seattle's really being the aggressor here tonight, and you kind of saw that during warm-ups. I know you don't win the game during warm-ups, but you could feel the energy that they were bringing. They were really excited about coming out here to this game. It's the last of their 3-game road swing, and they dropped the first 2. And again, during conference play, you got to be able to win a couple games on the road. So this is one these Redhawks have circled on their calendars, and these Wolverines just seem a little bit flat right now. I want to see, going back down to this next possession, maybe to get something for Jake down on the block, get Jake going, because as we've reiterated over and over, is another offensive rebound goes to Riley Gribsby. But these Wolverines kind of ebb and flow off how Jake is playing, and so hopefully we can get Jake involved in the offense here.
Ever since WAC conference play has started, teams have been double and triple teaming him, but I think Jake Toulson heard you. And if that three-pointer woke up the bench, Coach Feger stood up and yelled, "Let's go," Tom Brady-esque.
Because that's what they need, and that's what, Jake is so good, as we mentioned before, definitely a candidate for WAC Player of the Year. He can sense that in the game. He knows when he needs to get a basket for his team and what he needs to do, and so hopefully that lifts everybody, not only him.
And they're going to call a travel on Miles Carter as Big Rich, number 55, Richard Harward, fell. And I don't know if his
he didn't fall. He pulled the chair, okay?
He pulled the old Karl Malone move.
It worked out.
With Connor McDougal out, Big Rich is going to have to step up.
Yes, he will.
According to the coaching staff. Utah Valley trailing 13-5. 15 on the shot clock. Isaiah White driving baseline, gets contact, and draws the foul. We'll see who it goes against. And that'll go against Riley Grigsby. And that's going to take us to our first media timeout. But Utah Valley, they have some work to do. Down by 7. Just getting started here right at the WAC Digital Network.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become? It doesn't matter your situation in life.
No matter your interest.
Whether your first choice or second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you at UVU. Place to engage, to rise, to succeed.
To become.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center. Utah Valley and Seattle U tonight. Both teams in the conference looking for their first conference win on this 2018-2019 season. And what a wild first week it was. A lot of teams that were considered to be top contenders in the conference are at the bottom, and vice versa.
Right. How about California Baptist going in and getting a win against New Mexico State? That kind of really got things kicked off, and it just kind of steamrolled after. Was, this thing's up for grabs still.
UTRGV, Bakersfield, Grand Canyon. I mean, everybody is getting in on the action. Jake Toulson with the wraparound pass. All good teamwork to TJ Washington. Big Richard Harwood skies up for the rebound, and I think they're going to call it push-off, and that's what they're going to call.
Yeah, but I think Coach Pope and his staff are going to be okay with that from Richard. They want to see Richard down there being physical and battling, and if he gets called for, offensive foul call, trying to get another rebound, another possession for his team, I think they're going to be okay with that coming from Richard.
Hey, remember that rebound battle discussion we were talking about earlier? Mm-hmm. Right after that first media timeout, Utah Valley trailing 6-2. As Morgan Means continues to deliver from the perimeter.
Yeah, they're now 3 of 3 from the three-point line, and again, it's going to be those rebounds in the turnover game that I'm going to keep my eye on throughout this one.
We've said this all throughout the season, but Utah Valley is undefeated when they win that rebound battle. Connor Toulson with the 3 of his own to respond.
Nice patience there by Richard. Had the ball in his hands for about 6 or 7 seconds, which is tough for a big guy, especially one that doesn't see a whole lot of minutes, and a little heat check.
Absolutely. Means misses. Harwood with the rebound. Now Washington past the timeline. Crossover dribble. Isaiah White with the drive. Draws the contact. Again, no foul called. Nobody home in the key for Utah Valley to rebound. Here come the Red Hawks. That one slipped off, and that'll go out of play off of Terrell Brown. And Wyatt Lowell checks in for Isaiah White for Utah Valley. Utah Valley trailing by 8. 8-16. 14:42 to play in the first frame. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Huntaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening here on the WAC Digital Network, the KSL app, YouTube, and Facebook for Utah Valley. Go UVU. TJ Washington. Stutter step, gives load. Richard Harwood. That's a dangerous spot for a big man. And another turnover for Utah Valley. Means always looking downfield. Finds his man in the key. Harwood doing well, keeping his feet, staying vertical. And here comes Connor Toulson. Ooh, thought about it and took one too many steps.
Yeah, just got going a little too quick there. But again, going back to Richard. Richard's going to have his work cut out because, again, Miles Carter is an athletic big, and he loves to run the floor. And that was a perfect example of how he can get up and down the court in a hurry, and he's going to try to wear Richard out in transition. And so something that Richard just needs to mentally concentrate on. Great hands by Wyatt Lowell to get down in there and force the turnover.
TJ Washington with his head on a swivel, driving, knifing his way through the key. And two officials had two different calls, but eventually they're going to decide that was off of TJ Washington. So no foul.
Yeah, Richard lucky he didn't get an over the back call on that one. Would have been his second.
Thought it was, yeah. Nonetheless, Utah Valley still trailing by 8. Morgan Means stops, pops, comes up short. Harward with the rebound for Utah Valley. TJ Washington puts it up court. Jake Toulson stutter step, creates a space, step back, gives away. Now Wyatt Lowell. And Seattle U calls a timeout.
Again, they were the first ones to the floor, right? We've mentioned they've been the aggressors tonight, and that was a prime example of it.
We'll go ahead and we'll stay here. This is a position that Utah Valley has not been in very often at home. And we mentioned earlier, Utah Valley, they're looking for their 21st consecutive home win, Holton. So it's just, there's second best in the country right now with this home to winning streak. They're tied with Nebraska, and they sit behind Houston. Houston's at 28 consecutive for the top spot, but Buffalo and Murray State were tied with 18 in a row. Michigan and Tennessee are tied with 17. So to have Utah Valley be named against Michigan, Tennessee, Buffalo, Houston, Nebraska, I mean, that's pretty good company to be in.
That's very good company to be in. That's an amazing feat, and you know, I almost want you to yell that out louder so these guys realize what they're playing for. They need something. And, of course, it's not going to be a stat that wakes them up. They're going to need someone to come off the bench or someone out there right now to set the example and really bring energy to this team.
And right now,
go ahead.
Right now, Seattle U is just saying pretty much, we don't care.
Right.
We are here. Give us the streak breaker name. Seattle U misses. Seattle U has been offensively short for the last 2.5 minutes. TJ Washington gets lucky. That means missed that one off that turnover.
You see Jake trying to post up on that right block there, and hopefully they can find him. As
Harward gives way to Connor Toulson. Connor Toulson with the stutter. Again, unsuccessful at the rim. Miles Carter showing off that athleticism. Skying up and contesting every single shot in the key so far. Now here's Means on the other end. Ball moving on the perimeter for the Red Hawks. 19 on the clock. Yo-yo dribble by Brown. Gives way to Grigsby. Now single digits. Jake Toulson trying to get a hand on it. Red Hawks facing some pressure. 5 on the shot clock. 4. I don't think they understand what's going on. Miles Carter puts it up barely before getting bailed out by the whistle. Jake Toulson getting called for the fouls. We take a look at the replay. Spin move by Carter.
Maybe that one was right. We saw the angle that it could have came from Richard Harward, but it was actually Jake, as we saw the replay there on the swipe down. And tough foul call, as again we were counting the clock and didn't think, you know, Carter knew what was going on. And tough possession there, as this one has a chance to extend it to 10-point game.
Absolutely. Miles Carter now with his game high 5th point. Looking to make it 6. And he does.
A little confusion there substitution-wise. Wolverines lucky that one didn't get caught, or lucky we don't have Aaron Rodgers out there to get a free play with the extra man on the field. But
Utah Valley in a very strange position. We talked about their home court dominance, but this is, again, something that they haven't dealt with at home. But this is adversity at its finest, and this is where Coach Pope says teams are made and broken. As Wyatt Lowell steps into a 3, he goes as far in as it can go, but Bailey Steele tips it in somehow. They'll take it. Anything at this moment, they'll take it. Lead now single digits for the Red Hawks, 10-8. A little over 11 to play in the first half. Nice ball and body control by Delonte Jones. That's just very hard to stop.
that was just, I recognize I got a 5'10" guard on me and take advantage of it. Is nice drive there by TJ Washington to force the issue a little bit and get to the free throw line.
That foul's going to go against Riley Grigsby. But TJ Washington will be at the free throw line when we return. Utah Valley trails by 10, 20-10. 11:19 to go in the first half on the WAC Digital Network.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Huh? Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
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 I'm on a new level. Give your head a Mountain Dew kickstart.
Be a king in your mind, but do the work of a servant. With a purpose on the mission, you get to what you deserving. If it's worth it, you be on straight and narrow instead of swerving. Ignore the dream killers and doubters, cause they ain't perfect.
James, still a lot of doubters out there. What do you want to tell them?
Thank you for the motivation.
Give your head a Mountain Dew kickstart.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center, home of the Utah Valley Wolverines, where the Wolverines right now trail the Redhawks of Seattle U 10-20. 11:19 left in the first half. Taking a look across the conference at the moment. UTRGV up right now in the second half over Grand Canyon, 48-43, with a little over 13 to play. Chicago State lost to Baptist 77-75. New Mexico State beat Bakersfield 73-62. So again, it's just another episode, another day in the wild, wild Western Athletic Conference.
Exciting week last week, not only with, the big New Mexico State buzzer beater against Grand Canyon, but then we also had a new addition to the WAC coming in 2020, 2021 with,
stealing my thunder. Attaboy, I like it.
With Dixie State from down south of us will be a nice, travel partner for the Wolverines and a good addition for the WAC.
TJ Washington trying to get some offensive momentum and some mojo going for Utah Valley at the free throw line. Gets his first points. Utah Valley still trailing that rebound battle, but they closed the gap. It was 6-2, and now it's only 10-8. And I'm not a big stats guy as Washington makes the second free throw, but those are some very key indicators, especially for this Utah Valley team, is that rebounding battle. And when you don't have a guy like Connor McDougal coming off the bench for you, that hurts. And we haven't even mentioned a big key factor for Seattle U and their guy Montej Cavas. Cavas we've seen walking around limping too, as
because that guy right there is filled it up for Seattle U tonight. Morgan Means really filling that gap, making up for that 9 points, nearly 10 points a ball game that Cavas brings.
Oh, Washington slicing his way through the defense, gets a reverse layup to fall. 14-23, 10:20 to play in the first half. But Morgan Means, as you mentioned, playing with lots of confidence, as with everybody else on this team, including Delonte Jones.
This might be a chance for an extra possession, and it is. We're going to get a foul on Wyatt Lowell on the box out here. So not only the three-point shot goes, but Seattle U's getting another chance at it.
They're going to call a foul on Wyatt Lowell for a push down low is what it was.
But again, as you go back to the offensive rebounds and turnovers, like, why does that mean? Why are those such huge statistics? Usually you're winning the rebound game is nice and out of bounds play by Seattle U.
Terrell Brown just makes it look easy. Tried to draw the contact, no whistle from the official, but
right.
TJ Washington trying to do it all himself on the other end, trying to go into Bailey Steele, gets tipped. And finally a whistle is called. This one's going to go against the the Redhawks. Seattle, that's a tongue twister there. Delonte Jones. Connor Toulson checks back in for Utah Valley. 14-28, Utah Valley is trailing. I think this might be the biggest deficit so far this season that Utah Valley's faced at home.
Now we get a second foul on Wyatt Lowell, and again with Connor McDougal out. Hard to bring size coming back in off the bench, as Wolverines may have to go small and look at, maybe the possibility of stepping into a 2-3, maybe some type of matchup zone to protect some of these guys from foul calls.
About 10 minutes to play in the first half. Morgan Means has been the man with the plan. Ball bouncing all over the place. Seattle U finally comes away with a fresh shot clock.
Again, another offensive rebound, and what that means is they're being the aggressors. They're making the extra effort and hustle as Morgan Means, nice little pump fake as he's already made three-pointers of his own and add that nice little elbow jumper to it.
Right now, Utah Valley has no answer for Seattle U. As we look at a Morgan Means takeaway from Connor Toulson, who's usually sure-handed, and Morgan Means is fired up. Seattle U has silenced this UCCU Center crowd. 14-32, exploding here in this first half. Jake Toulson saves it from going out of bounds. 18 on the shot clock. Utah Valley trying to come up with something here. Ball flies up in the air, no whistle. Here's Morgan Means. Connor Toulson comes in from behind. I think they blew the whistle before. I felt like they blew the whistle before that even happened. But we'll take a look at the replay.
Yeah, it's maybe a good point there is
they were
Morgan Means. And when he heard that early whistle, he doesn't have to go up and try to finish it, right? So that may have taken away from the opportunity of eventually the foul being called, but did seem like a predetermined whistle. As you can kind of see this entire thing kind of unwinding here.
So this will be a full timeout. We'll be right back to try and figure out what just happened on the WAC Digital Network.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go? Let's have some fun.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
The officials taking a look, gathering their thoughts together. Duran Goschel, Charles Robinson, Dennis Flannery. Taking a look at the last play that we saw right before we went to break. Morgan Means had a fast break. Connor Toulson came in from behind. It looked like from our vantage point, we're not trying to do any homer bias call, but just from our vantage point, it honestly looked like he got majority of the ball. But it also sounded like that they blew the whistle before anything was even there to anticipate. We'd love to see what final thing plays out here. Morgan Means didn't feel like there was ill will. He got right up and ran straight back this way.
Yeah, I think he did that to show his team, like, hey, I'm okay. Like, both two very athletic guys, and Connor Toulson and Morgan Means going full speed down the court. And, you know, those ones are always scary plays for guys. And, you know, I know when you go to the rec center and you try to play, you stay away from those situations and not try to get injured in those type of things, because very high likelihood of injuries happen. And glad both guys were able to get up from it. And again, going to the line to shoot too is Morgan Means, so no intentional foul, no excessive, you know, physical play there. And back to getting things back on track. The Wolverines got to right this ship. They got to do something here to slow down the Redhawks. There's really been the turnovers and rebounds that we continue to mention. We're going to get a quick whistle. This one going on number 12. That's going to be Campo is trying to slow down Jake Toulson as he was cutting through the lane.
Morgan Means right now 8 total points on the evening. Leads all scores. And there's just been no energy right now in this UCCU Center. Coach Pope trying to fire up his squad. On the offensive side, Bailey Steele now gives way to Ben Nikwasa. Utah Valley trails 14-34. 8:44 left to play in the first half. Connor Toulson looking for some help. Gives way to Jake Toulson, guarded by DeCampo. Kick out to Ben Nikwasa. Ben Nikwasa steps into a three. Rims up. Glanced off the shot clock, came down.
And in that possession, you can see 4 red jerseys inside the paint and no one going after that rebound for the Wolverines. And Again, we mentioned Connor McDougal and his impact early on, but those little things are what they miss him for.
Miles Carter gets called for the travel.
The travel may have worked out in their favor because it prevented the fast break going the other way on the turnover by Carter there. Good hands by Bailey Steele on that spin move.
14-34, Jake Toulson looking to take over. Triple team now. Gives way to Isaiah White with the wide open three-pointer. Yes! 17-34, Utah Valley trailing. 7:45 to play in the first half. Anything right now offensively is trying to get a spark. Now can Utah Valley play some defense? Isaiah White keeps his ground. DeCampo,
wow.
Crazy rebound. Carter's going to have a look for three. Rims off. 3 Utah Valley Wolverines fighting for it. Tips off of them all. And that'll take us to our under 8 media timeout. Utah Valley trailing 17-34 when we return on the WAC Sports Digital Network.
Utah has embodied the spirit of industry. From the first transcontinental railroad to the first department store, we've led the way. As part of the Murdoch Auto team, we're proud to carry on this tradition. That's because when we say you are the heart of our business, it's more than just a slogan. It's our commitment to the values we all hold dear with no regrets. You've got to come see why you truly are the heart of our business. Murdoch Hyundai of Linden, part of the Murdoch Auto team. Click MurdochHyundaiLinden.com.
I decided to go to college to further my education and define my purpose in the world and be a part of something much bigger than myself.
I wanted to set up the best possible future for myself, both academically and athletically. I try to learn from everyone, whether that be professors, my teammates, or other student athletes.
I try to see everyone as an opportunity to learn. Everyone has a story to tell, and I think there's a moral and something you can learn from it.
Some fun being had by some fans coming out of the court trying to win some prizes. Utah Valley trying to win back some confidence, especially that they had here at home. They're trailing right now. The Redhawks coming in, ruffling some feathers and some fur of Utah Valley and the Wolverines. 17-34, Redhawks on top. 7:31 left to play in this first half. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us again be a part of your Saturday evening on the WAC Sports Digital Network, on the KSL app, on the Go UVU Facebook and YouTube sites as well. Right now, Holden, some talking points have been injuries for both teams. Really, you can't tell by missing Matej Kavas. Now, he's a type of player that's really irreplaceable when he's healthy. But right now, it's next man up mentality for Seattle U, and they're fulfilling that. But on the other side with Utah Valley, Connor McDougal's absence has been felt greatly here in this first half.
Yeah, Connor was really one that he had started to gain consistency on the offensive end. He's one that, you know, as we've seen these 2-3 minute droughts that the Wolverines have gone into to get anything going offensively, he was almost an automatic bucket at times that they could throw the ball into the post on the block, and he was getting to the point where he'd get to that left shoulder, right hand jump hook. It was pretty automatic, and so they definitely are missing his scoring and then also his impact on the rebounding side of the game, as Wolverines getting out rebounded right now 14-8.
Good defense on the baseline for Utah Valley. There's a deep three at the top of the key by who else? Delonte Jones.
6th three for Seattle U in this first half, shooting over 56% from the three-point line.
DeCampo locked on Jake Toulson, poked away from behind. Here comes DeCampo. Connor Toulson gets away. And Delonte Jones came in and tipped that one out of play. DeCampo getting high fives from Morgan Means and other teammates for disrupting Utah Valley's offense. Down by 20, 17-37 here in this first half, 6:45 left to play. Utah Valley now in TJ Washington. Alley-oop's a big Richard Harward, who gets fouled in the process. That would have been a thunderous slam for Big Rich. That'll go against Miles Carter. That'll be his first personal foul.
Big Rich showing his athleticism to go up there and catch that ball. Again, TJ Washington is an amazing passer in that key and one of the best lob throwers to the big man off those pick and rolls that I've seen. And Richard Howard showing his ability to get up. Hopefully that lifts everybody, and hopefully he can get one of these free throws to go down.
Harward misses the first free throw. He's got another. One thing that you talked about and you kind of brushed over was the presence of the pregame as Harward makes the second free throw. The Utah Valley PA squad and the marketing had to turn up the volume of their music because Seattle U was here and they would not stop talking. There's just team communication, and they were prepared from the moment they arrived at this arena, and so far it's shown in every single bit.
Yeah, both teams had a week off to play this game, right? They had a bye. The guys usually travel together, follow each other around, and so now we get a turnover here by Delonte Jones. It looked like a travel initially, and then just kind of got out of control going to the baseline. But again, these guys were up for this game. They were excited for it. Again, you know, the coaching staff has a little history to Utah. One of the assistant coaches, Nick Robinson, used to be the head coach of Southern Utah University just down south, and so sure family and friends, and they were ready to play this one.
Big Rich driving down low, posting up. That's a nice little touch, something he's been working on very hard in the offseason.
And he's that excellent example, and that was a Connor McDougal-esque move there as Rich going to his left shoulder.
Right now, a big size advantage compared to DeCampo, who's they have guarding him. Kick out. Good ball move by Seattle. This has been the best defensive possession so far by the Wolverines. 6 on the shot clock. Morgan Means guarded by Washington with the step back 3 seconds on the clock. Rims off. And they're going to call Jake Toulson for the push down low, trying to get that rebound. And Jake Toulson looked over at his bench as the coaches were thinking about maybe substituting him, and he said, nope, I'm staying.
Trying to look at the replay there on where the push came from. Jake actually stood in front of the offensive player there in Campo, and tough call against the Wolverines. Big call for Jake as it was his second one.
Mattia DeCampo makes both free throws. The Paisano from Venice, Italy, junior guard. Just been another puzzle piece for Coach Hayford. 19-point lead for the Redhawks, 39-20 over the Wolverines of Seattle U. Right now, Utah Valley trying to find their mojo. TJ Washington with a yo-yo dribble. Jay Toulson saves the pass. DeCampo all over him. Single digits on the shot clock. TJ Washington finds a crease and some space. Looked like he could have had an easy layup, but he elected to try and give it off to Wyatt Lowell. Ball ends up getting tipped up. It'll be out of play. 5 seconds on the shot clock for Utah Valley with the inbound. And let's see what play the Wolverines draw up with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Maybe a veteran move there by Miles Carter to tie his shoe and see the, figuration there, but Wolverines might draw up.
Jake Toulson, as cool as the other side of the pillow, just drives and gets that easy layup. Didn't force a shot when he didn't need to. 22-39, 4:45 to play in the first.
That's really been the most space Jake has had to operate in. They've really done a really good job of crowding the paint and making it hard for Jake to get anything easy.
DeCampo. Now Jones. Jones driving on Connor Toulson. Connor with the pesky hand slips it away. Delonte Jones somehow, my goodness, finds the bottom of the net. Circus shot from his backside.
From his back seat there.
Jake Toulson answers with a two-handed jam of his own. Count it.
If that play doesn't get you going as a teammate, I don't know what will. Jake, nice back door and throws it down.
Jake Toulson says, you know what, I'm a dad. Dads do it two hands. You know, there's a certain look that Jake Toulson gets when he's in the zone, and that look that they just showed right there looks like he might have just woken up. Jake Toulson completes the three-point play. 25-41 with 4:16. Utah Valley over the next 4 minutes going to try and carve into this lead for the Redhawks as much as they can. Connor Toulson on Means. Means with the drive. Stop. Pop. Connor Toulson. He's fired up on the defensive side. That's 2 consecutive streaks. He's got his hands on. Isaiah White wants in on the action. Isaiah White drives and gets a foul call. Let's see who this one goes on. This is going to go against Riley Grigsby. As we see that nice outlet pass by Toulson to Isaiah White. And Morgan Means is having a talk with the official, and Jim Hayford's got his hand on him. But we're going to come right back. Utah Valley at the free throw line on the WAC Digital Network. Willie the Wolverine getting the crowd fired up in the background, and Coach Pope getting his team fired up right there in the huddle. Utah Valley was getting some extra energy from Jake Toulson on the past couple of possessions. And not only was he getting energy on the offensive side from Jake, but they were feeding off of the defensive energy by Connor Toulson. 2 consecutive trips down the court by the Seattle Redhawks were stopped by Connor and his pesky hands. And you know something about pesky hands and what that can do, Colton. Mr. All-Time leading steals guy.
That's right. I mean, it just creates offense out of your defense. And it's a backbreaker to the opposing team. Is, you know, obviously it's a letdown that they can't get anything done on the offensive end, but then flip it around and that turns into fast break points, and that just elevates and lifts everybody out there. And, of course, Jake's dunk really awoke people up.
Isaiah White makes the first free throw. Isaiah White continues to grow here in his role at Utah Valley. Makes the second free throw. Somebody that we see continue to get more comfortable in his own skin, more comfortable in the roles that they have for him here at this program. 27-41, Seattle U on top. 3:54 left to play. Morgan Means with the deep three from the top of the key. Strikes again.
I mean, that's his 5th one, 4th one. Either way, he can shoot the basketball, and how he ends up that open on the perimeter. 4th three-point shot of this first half, and it's been all about Morgan Means.
Morgan Means with 18 points so far in this first half. TJ Washington gives back to Jake Toulson on the other side for Utah Valley. Jake Toulson driving, kicks out to TJ Washington with the stutter step. And TJ Washington drives and gets contact on the baseline. That foul is going to go against the Redhawks. It'll be Aaron Nettles who checked into the game, and it'll be his first. The Redhawks' 8th team foul, which will send Utah Valley to the free throw line. TJ Washington sinks it. TJ Washington misses the second free throw. So 3:20 left to play in the first half. 28-44, Utah Valley trails. DeCampo gives way to Morgan Means, who just hit a 3 from that spot. Passes it up, drives in the key. Bounce pass on the other side, intercepted by Ben Nequasa. Ben Nequasa trying to get around the Italian, and he does. Nequasa gives way. Jake Toulson wide open for 3. Rims off Isaiah White with the putback, but he draws a foul. Utah Valley consecutively over the last couple minutes is starting to win more and more offensive possessions here.
It's been the energy in transition that has allowed them to get a couple open looks and opportunities. You know, it's kind of that hunt for an easy basket. Where can they find an easy score? And it's going to be in transition, and that's why you know, those couple steals by Connor were so important to get them going, and hopefully they can find some success as well from the offensive rebound and maybe take advantage of this last 3 minutes of being in the bonus. But, you know, kind of a rare couple of misses. The Wolverines have shot 87% from the free throw line in conference play, and so have been taking care of business in the past.
Sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga, California, 50% on that trip. Makes the second after missing the first. 29-44 with 2:54 left to play in the first half. Redhawks still on top. Morgan Means has been the man to stop. DeCampo gives way to TJ Washington. TJ Washington on his horse, hair flowing in the wind. Easy left-handed layup. 31-44. Utah Valley slowly coming back in this one, Holton.
They can get this thing under 10 going into the break. That would be huge.
Big moral victory for the Wolverines is what they're looking for in the next 2.5 minutes. That was a deep three, not even close, by Seattle. TJ Washington on the other end again, showing off his speed, drives, and draws more contact. Aaron Nettles visibly frustrated, as I believe he was the culprit, and he is. And that will be his second personal foul. And Washington connects. TJ Washington makes 2 consecutive free throws. 33-44 with 2:15 left to play in the first half. Utah Valley was down by 20. Trying to come back. Morgan Means being guarded by Benaquasa. Now Carter with the step back. Big Richard Harwood with the rebound. Here's Utah Valley now. Benaquasa past the timeline. 1:57 left to play in the first. Benaquasa. Stutter steps trying to go around the screen. TJ Washington thought about the three. Stutter step, crossover, showing off his moves. Jay Toulson wants the screen from Hart. Harwood gives it to him. Jay Toulson drives, throws up a behind the back pass. Oh, goodness sakes! Richard Harwood with the finish.
Single-digit game now, only 9.
35-44. This crowd's starting to come alive here for Utah Valley. Morgan Means, and that's just easy for him. Kiss off the glass, stop and pop mid-range game, something that you don't see every day in the NBA. Benaquasa showing off his speed driving down the baseline. 1:12 left to play in the first half. TJ Washington again draws contact, no whistle this time. DeCampo finally settles the rebound. Utah Valley quickly getting back on defense. Morgan Means taking his time to get past that midcourt logo. Morgan Means looking back at his head coach, Jim Hayford, saying, "Coach, what do you want me to do here?"
Just keep doing what you're doing.
You're serious. 12 seconds on the shot clock, 47 to go in the game clock. Going down to Miles Carter. Big Rich lets him slip around him.
They're going to call a knee. Who they're going to call on Big Richard Howard, who's been doing a great job this last 5-minute stretch of not really giving up anything around the basket to Miles Carter, and done a great job of cleaning up the glass and finishing possessions.
That'll be Harward's second personal foul. Miles Carter, again the redshirt junior from Chicago, Illinois, at the free throw line. And Carter connects. Carter now point number 7. And he's perfect, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Make that 6 of 6. 8 points so far in the first half, Big Miles Carter. 40 seconds left to play. Let's see what Utah Valley can do. 35-48. TJ Washington, spin move. And they're going to call a foul before the basket went to the glass. And that's going to go against Trey Hopkins. It'll be his first personal foul.
That was nice recognition by TJ Washington. Trey Hopkins just subbed into the game, you know, trying to give a break, trying to save a foul for the Redhawks, and TJ recognized that that's a new face. He hasn't been in the game for the past 20 minutes. I'm going to attack him. great recognition and got himself to the free throw line.
Harward steps off. Jake Toulson steps off. Drew Cotton checks in for Utah Valley, as well as Bailey Steele. Utah Valley trying to get some height in the last 34 seconds as TJ Washington makes the second free throw. 37-48 Utah Valley. Morgan Means and company most likely going to take their time with the last 23 seconds on the shot clock. About a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Miles Carter posting up big time against Bailey Steele. Morgan Means just continued to look at the clock. Finally starts to make a move. 7-6 on the clock. Step back from Jones. Oh, that is just deadly. Delonte Jones, ice water in his veins. Sinks that shot 37-50. Redhawks still on top. Coach Pope calls a timeout to think things over. So 3.7 seconds, close to 4 seconds, Holton. If you're Coach Pope, you're in this huddle, what are you drawing up right here?
I mean, some type of shot or advancement of the basketball quickly. I know Jake is the one that, could play quarterback, I'm sure, somewhere. We've seen him throw terrific passes in situations like that, so we'll probably look to get Connor or Isaiah White with a little athleticism that can jump up there and grab maybe an air pass, and actually going to bump this clock to 5.1 seconds. 5.1 seconds with TJ Washington or Ben Niquas' athleticism. Give it to one of those guys on the run. Force the officials to make a foul call, and we've seen that foul call go their way, and maybe they have the opportunity to get 2 free throws going into the end of this.
Utah Valley needs points to have that confidence going into the locker room. So 5.1 they give to TJ Washington. Washington trying to explode past the timeline. Chucks up a desperation shot. No fouls called, and that's how the first half is going to end. Not probably exactly how they tried to draw it up, but Utah Valley, they came back. They were down by over 20 points, and now it's only 37-50. Overall, kind of a sloppy first half by Utah Valley. You have to give credit to Coach Jim Hayford and to the Redhawks. They came out, and as soon as the tip started, they were pounding Utah Valley, and like you said, they were the aggressor.
Yeah, they were from the jump ball. I mean, they jumped on the Wolverines, not only offensive glass, forced turnovers, but then it's been Morgan Means. A huge spark and a big lift with Cavas out for this one, and the Wolverines are going to continue to look for their lift as McDougal's impact definitely felt in that first half.
Coach Pope's going to try and draw something up in the locker room, and we're going to take a break here on the WAC Digital Network and can be right back with the second half in a little bit.
Make some noise!
Let's do this. Showtime, come on. Creative, the world needs an answer. Give us the answer. Creativity is the answer. Never play on repeat. Put your own spin on things. Let a new wave begin.
All right, come on, let's go.
2 seconds. Creators run the show. We want the answer. From the cage to the stage. Rise up from the streets to the pros.
So much.
Creativity is the answer to a world divided. Tear down those walls. Make worlds unite. Flip the script. Rewrite the rules. Creativity is the answer. Now over to you.
I came to college to play my sport, but more importantly, to earn a degree.
I'm constantly learning from those around me, my professors and peers, my coaches and teammates, and even my opponents.
There's nothing better than game day, battling side by side with my teammates.
The competition is what pushes me to be the best that I can be.
I take pride in my community and want to ensure that I am giving back and inspiring the next generation to do the same.
Eyes on me! I'm Mark Pope, coach of the UVU men's basketball team. I want to thank Carlos Iglesias and Ken Garf Volkswagen for being a great friend of Utah Valley University Athletics, basketball, volleyball, and everything else.
Thanks, Coach. We're proud to support a great program like Utah Valley University Sports. We wish the Wolverines a fantastic season.
You can thank Carlos, too, by visiting their new dealership today, Ken Garf Volkswagen.
We hear you.
Vehicle for your dollar from Utah's largest Hyundai dealer. Drive home a new 2019 Hyundai Tucson for only $199 a month, or you'll love the new Elantra for only $13,990. Go ahead and compare at MurdochHyundai.com. You gotta come and see it in Logan, Linden, and Murray.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
It doesn't matter your situation in life.
No matter your interest.
Whether your first choice or second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you. Place for you at UVU. Place to engage, to rise, to succeed.
To become.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
I decided to go to college to further my education and define my purpose in the world and be a part of something much bigger than myself.
I wanted to set up the best possible future for myself, both academically and athletically. I try to learn from everyone, whether that be professors, my teammates, or other student athletes.
I try to see everyone as an opportunity to learn. Everyone has a story to tell, and I think there's a moral and something you can learn from it.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
You only need to answer one question. Will you accept the challenge to become? No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests, from award-winning accounting to marketing and entrepreneurship programs, there's a place for you at Utah Valley University. A place to engage, to rise, to succeed, to become.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else?
In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy,
and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life. If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Chevrolet. I promise you'll love it.
We're in the back really cooking food. You know, we take pride in all the food that we do. We make the meatballs from scratch. We make the pasta. What we're doing as a restaurant, making the community better, beautifying the community, increasing the culture in the community. And I think that that's such an important aspect to what we do as a restaurant, to recognize that our customers aren't just people who are coming in to dine with us, but they're part of our family.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Welcome back to UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker, thanking you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening here on the WAC Digital Network, on KSL streaming apps, on GoUVU's Facebook and YouTube page as well. It's been we have heavy hearts this past week in the Western Athletic Conference. We lost a great friend and teammate, if you will, in Chicago State's SID, Corey Miggins. Corey Miggins passed away this past week at the age of 40 in his sleep. And we, along with all of our fellow WAC members and schools, join in with Chicago State in solidarity and say that we are with you. And we extend our thoughts and our prayers with Corey Miggins' family at this time. Also, this has been Salute to Service Week, and we honor all those who sacrifice so much daily to protect our daily lives and our freedom. And we have honored Joseph Shinners, a fallen officer who passed away in the line of duty this week. Earlier today, they had a funeral held here in the UCCU Center, and as you see, some of the players are wearing the warm-up jerseys in honor of the Salute to Service and members like Joseph Shinners. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with the second half right after this. That was good. Jake Toulson is trying to get Utah Valley to bring the turbulence along with Little John in the background at the UCCU Center. Utah Valley trails 37-50 to start this second half. They switch sides. Utah Valley still in the red, white, and green. Seattle U in the red as Isaiah White starts off the second half with a bang three-pointer. And that's the key for Utah Valley, is to get these role players to make their shots.
And it's big coming into this first 2 minutes. Connor picking up a steal right here. Means he got to be careful doesn't pick up a foul call.
Jake Toulson now with it, past the timeline into Ben Nikwasa. If only we were flies on the wall in that locker room to hear what Coach Pope had to say. As Seattle U gets a foul, that's going to go against Morgan Means. That'll be his first. The junior guard from Compton, California, who led all scorers at the break. He was unstoppable in that first half. He had 20 points, 7 of 12 from the floor, 4 of 7 from three-point land. And I believe his name came up quite a bit in that locker room talk at halftime, I'm sure. Ben Nikwasa with 8 on the shot clock. Gets his shot blocked. And that one was tipped by Morgan Means first by Seattle, so that's a fresh. It looked like that was tipped by Seattle U.
Yeah, but that one wouldn't have reset the shot clock. It was never really a change of possession as that block shot came. But again, it was, two Seattle U players hustling after that to extend or make the possession extend against the Wolverines as they were trying to race against time.
40-50, Utah Valley down by 10, Seattle on top by 10, however you want it. 18:43 left to play in the contest. Carter trying to get a jab step, instead defers. Down low, Bailey Steele gets a hand on it. That's back-to-back nice possessions by Utah Valley on the defensive side. Isaiah White will draw the foul and go back to the free throw line. Delonte Jones looks a bit frustrated. Take a look, nice bounce pass by Nikwasa. And coming in from behind with the slap was Jones.
Coming into the second half, this was the start that you and I had talked about and what they needed to come out with energy and really push the tempo in this first 2 to 3 minutes to kind of give life and to keep Seattle U back on their heels.
Isaiah White makes the first free throw. Well, the referees continues to chat up with Bailey Steele and Miles Carter in the post. More physicality than we've seen in the first half. As Isaiah White makes both free throws, and I see a grin on your face as I say that. Physicality is what Utah Valley needs as they bring the Red Hawk lead down to 8, 42-50. Seattle on top. And Ben Nikwasa gets called for a foul, and that'll be his first.
And I'm sure those can continue to hear Coach Pope cheering his guys on and tell them that's an okay foul, because he just wants to see the level of aggression and intensity pick up from these guys. And as that rises, little fouls like that just seem to happen.
Nice battle after the contested shot by Bailey Steele. There was a lot of aggression on that rebound by Bailey Steele, I'll tell you that. Connor Toulson slips and falls, gets on his feet, drives to the rack, draws the contact. Bailey Steele couldn't come up with it. Now here comes Seattle U. Red Hawks with an 8-point lead, 17:45 to play in the game. Seattle U kick out. Brown now to Means. Good ball movement, now Jones in the corner. Guarded by White, Jones falls down, and they're gonna call a travel. Isaiah White felt him fall and just stepped away.
Yeah, nice job by Isaiah White of forcing Jones to the baseline. We just had no room to operate, and we're gonna get a quick timeout right here by Seattle U.
Seattle U elects to take a full timeout, and we'll take it with them. We'll be right back on the WAN Digital Network.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become
No matter where you are in life.
No matter your interests.
From award-winning music
to acting
to theater programs.
There's a place for you.
A place for you.
A place for you at UVU. A place to engage.
To rise.
To succeed.
To become.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker with you. Utah Valley trails only by 8, 42-50. And that's probably as best of a first start to the first half from what we've seen from Utah Valley in the first half that Coach Pope could have asked for.
Right, I mean, big plays by Isaiah White. He got things going by making a three-point shot, and then, Connor Toulson getting on the ground, forcing a turnover, and that led to an Isaiah White transition layup. And so, again, shooting from the perimeter, they struggled from the outside in that first half, only shot about 30% from the three-point line. And then you and I kind of talked personally about Connor need to get involved in this game during halftime, and hopefully this continue to roll and Connor can get involved also from the offensive end.
Jake Toulson has his pocket picked by Delonte Jones. Jones gives back way to Morgan Means. Again, Morgan Means with 20 points. 20 points in the first half alone. And an offensive foul. Jake Toulson feels vindicated. That one's going to go against John Hundal.
Yeah, I thought that was an easy call there as Jones just extended both arms into Connor Toulson, and ball screens it's hard to get away with anything, especially, above the waist area there because there's so much attention during that time.
Utah Valley trails by 8, 16:58 to play in the contest. Ben Ikwasa, alley-oop to Bailey Steele, who draws a foul in the process. That one's going to go against Miles Carter. That'll be his second personal foul.
Still at the line of shooting 2.
Bailey Steele makes his first free throw. Bailey Steele getting encouraged by the local fans. Makes the second free throw. And this has been the closest. This has been the closest that we've had since the first 2 minutes of this ball game. Utah Valley brings it now to only 6 points. And again, Utah Valley was down by over 20 in that first half. And that one does not fall for Seattle U, about as close as they could have gone for Grigsby. Now Jake Toulson is with Isaiah White. Now back over to Connor Toulson, the guy you said needs to start making some shots. Ben Ikwasa creating space with the floater off the glass.
This thing's down to 4, and you can feel the life back into this UCU center.
Connor Toulson slips. That's his third time slipping on the floor. Miles Carter answers with the 2 of his own. Isaiah White draws the contact on Grigsby.
Been an entire change of pace from the Wolverines as Ben Ikwasa and Isaiah White have really led the charge of getting up and down in transition, and Seattle U just hasn't had an answer. It was really them and showing their athleticism in that first half with the guard play and getting around a lot of the handoffs and ball screens, but hopefully Wolverines can keep this tempo up.
Jake Toulson doing work. Spin move, kiss off the glass. And Jake Toulson with the flex down the way. 48-52. Fans starting to stand up here in the UCCU Center trying to get behind their team. Mattia DeCampo Pickpockets by Connor Toulson. Ben DeQuasa with it now for Utah Valley. Gets away to Bailey Steele, who gets hit. No foul call. Connor Toulson, Jake Toulson, back to Connor Toulson for the three. Yes! Utah Valley down by 1, 51-52. Everybody on their feet now. Seattle U with the three. And that'll hush the crowd for a second there. Terrell Brown.
What an answer by him. But again, this run, this doesn't take the wind out of the Wolverines' sails here. You can again see a different pace to their offensive sets. And you mentioned that look that Jake gets. He's kind of got that right now on the block.
Jake Toulson draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. And that'll go against Delonte Jones. And that'll take us to a media timeout. This is a newfound life here in the UCCU Center. Utah Valley down by 4. Free throws when we return.
What is it about the car shopping experience at Murdoch Hyundai that has everyone talking? Maybe it's the safety inspections or the car washes for life. It could be the price match guarantee, or maybe it's just the way you're treated. Come fall in love in Linden, Logan, and Murray at Murdoch Hyundai. Your no regrets dealer.
Utah Valley has stormed back from being down 20+ to only be down by 4. 51-55, 14:53 left to play in the contest. They came out of the gates, the Wolverines did, out of that second half. And they've been a completely different team from what we've seen in that first half. And you want to know something, Holton? As Utah Valley continues to bridge this gap as far as points go, you take a look at the key indicator for Utah Valley, their rebounds. They're only 1 away. They've made up some ground, 17-18. Redhawks still have that 1 rebound advantage, but that's where Utah Valley has their bread and butter.
Right, and they've also now forced more turnovers than they've given up as well. Both of those things were something that you and I emphasized early on in the broadcast, and both areas of the game that Seattle U was dominating early, we can feel the entire wave of momentum here has shifted to the Wolverines as Jake wants to continue to cut this lead.
Jake Toulson makes the first free throw. Jake Toulson right now, 1 of 3 Wolverines in double digits. Jake Toulson makes it again. So 12 points for Toulson. Connor Toulson with 11 and Isaiah White with 11 respectively. Bailey Steele with 6 right now, along with Richard Harward's 5 for the Wolverines. And Seattle U on the other end continues to answer. Terrell Brown. And Morgan Means looks like has a little bit of blood on him. He's got to step off and clean that up.
Again, you had the entire staff of the Wolverines yelling out there that 13 was bleeding. Probably not looking out for Morgan Means' sake. Want to get Morgan Means off the court as much as possible so that he doesn't throw in another 3-point bomb that he had been throwing in all game here, and quickly just threw a Band-Aid on, actually threw some tape, and he's right back in.
Tape on his shooting hand nonetheless. That might be something to keep your eye on. Nonetheless, Utah Valley still down by 4, 53-57, 14:30 to play in the contest. Isaiah White finds trouble, kicks it back out to Connor Toulson. Connor Toulson dribbles to his left, gives way Jake Toulson. Jake Toulson back to Connor Toulson. Toulson driving down the baseline, looking for some help. He's trapped, nobody home. Finally kicks it back to Isaiah White, who gets fouled before or after he travels.
Yeah, he took an extra step as he tried to gain balance. We'll look at the replay. Nice cut. I think he just took it 1 extra bound there. Tough call against the Wolverines as that one was a wide open, near wide open dunk.
Alley-oop miss by Seattle U. Yeah, got the rebound nonetheless. Morgan Means going to try and slow it down. Morgan Means goes left. Gives way to Brown. Brown with the drive. Reverse layup underneath Richard Harward's arm. And just as soon as Utah Valley comes within one, quickly, they're down by 6 again. 13:35 to play in the game. 53-59, Redhawks on top. And Connor Toulson starting to turn up his fast twitch skills. Draws a foul against Morgan Means. He just couldn't keep up with him. And Coach Hayford wanting the foul to be called against the screener, not against Morgan Means here. And Morgan
I think he was okay with Morgan Means being the culprit. He just didn't want Connor Toulson at the free throw line. So he was saying that he was fouling the screener to try to get Richard over to the free throw line instead of a 80+% free throw shooter in Connor Toulson, knowing that these two are almost automatic. Also knowing that if those go in, maybe that can get Connor Toulson going from the outside.
That's why they pay you the big bucks. That's why we have you here.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my job quickly if I keep jinxing people.
As Isaiah White falls to the floor, goes out of bounds, referee points to him and says that was a foul against him. Take a look at the replay. Shot up in the air, rims off, and Isaiah White, it's tough to really tell with that angle, unless there was contact before. Means, Brown back to Means. 23 on the shot clock, 13 left to play in the game. Utah Valley 54, Seattle U 59. Means in the corner for three. Rims off. DeCampo somehow tips that back to Carter.
Great extra effort by DeCampo, giving up his body just to get a hand on that one.
Brown driving, goes right at Richard Harward.
Man. That's been his third layup in this second half that have just been unbelievable body control and able to finesse and bring that ball around the defender's hand.
TJ Washington gives down low to big Richard Harward. Harward going up against Carter. Big size advantage. Harward keeping his composure. Finds it, muscles it in.
Those are big baskets. Those baskets in my eyes are worth like 6 points out there when you get productivity out of Richard on the block. Big lift off the bench.
Foul's going to go against TJ Washington. That'll be his first personal foul. Bailey Steele, Wyatt Lowell checking in for Isaiah White and Richard Harward. .12 minutes left in the contest. Seattle U on top by 5. Wyatt Lowell guarding Brown. Brown with the step back, rims off. Washington tips it up. And they're going to call a foul. Utah Valley wanted a jump ball, but the foul, I believe, is going to go against TJ Washington. That'll be his second.
You can see what those offensive rebounds do for that Seattle U bench. Everybody up, patting everybody on the back, saying, let's go, let's continue to push this thing as they got a chance to build back their lead. Wolverines down 56-61. We'll be right back on the WAC Digital Network.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
no, I'm fine, thanks.
It's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life,
no matter your interests,
from award-winning business
and STEM
to performing arts programs,
there's a place for you.
A place for you.
A place for you at UVU.
A place to engage.
To rise.
To succeed.
To become.
Seattle U Redhawks 61, Utah Valley Wolverines 56. As we come back from that media timeout, Utah Valley had brought the gap as far as the rebounds have concerned to only within one, and since then the Redhawks have just exploded with their offensive rebound productivity, and that's really been the difference.
Yeah, and now they're +6 on the rebounds. They've got 11 offensive rebounds, and that's really what this Seattle U team feeds off of. They're a quick, athletic, scrappy type team that, you know, they use all 30 seconds, the majority of that shot clock, and they just try to wear you out and grind out the ball game. And so those offensive rebounds are a huge lift and spark for them.
Trey Hopkins at the line for the Redhawks. He makes his first.
Hopkins, kind of that slack that you had mentioned off the bench as Kavas is out. They've had to turn to Trayvon Hopkins, getting deep into their bench, and he's rose to the occasion, especially in this second half, given big minutes as he's had to take on the role as we see him go right back to it of guarding Jake Toulson.
11:40 to play. Utah Valley 56, Seattle U 63. Jake Toulson. Jake Toulson finds a crease, going to drive, and he's going to finish at the rack. 58-63. Redhawks still on top. DeCampo, guarded by Lowell.
As we click into this 11th minute here, again, Morgan Means, the hot hand, 7 of 14 shooting in the first half. I don't think he's attempted a shot. But he had the one shot in the corner, and that's it. Hasn't been held scoreless. Give Connor credit for buying into halftime.
That one comes up short by Seattle. Carter can't find it either, and Means somehow skies up and gets the rebound in a fresh shot clock. And immediately Richard Harwood checks into the scorer's table to come in at the next opportune moment for Utah Valley. Miles Carter down low against Bailey Steele. Carter going to post up, pulls back.
Wow.
And that's a difficult shot to make, but he made it look easy.
Tough jump hook, tight on that baseline, and give him credit for going back to it. That's the second one he's made this game.
Jake Toulson with the stutter step, and he gets tripped up by Trey Hopkins. Richard Harwood checks in for Bailey Steele. And Jake Toulson gathers his breath at the free throw line. Ian Burke, fresh legs, checks in for the first time. Jake Toulson makes the first free throw. And going down the stretch like this, we've seen it. It's a broken record. You hear it consecutively, continuously when you watch games. But it's true. In situations like this, free throws are so crucial. Whenever you have an opportunity to get to a point like this, you got to make them. Jake Toulson's been consistent.
Yeah, especially with how close these officials are calling the game. You know, Wolverines already in the bonus with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left and near the double bonus area. And so as a guard, especially with how well Jake and Connor shoot from the free throw line, TJ and Ben DeClasa right there with them, these guys had to be aggressive and try to force the issue a little bit to try to get themselves to the free throw line.
Seattle U on top by 5. And Wyatt Lowell looks in disbelief as he picks up his third personal foul. Many Wolverines believe Terrell Brown was out of control driving down the lane.
Yeah, Wyatt may be on the end of, the officials looking up themselves and seeing the disparity. The foul count, 8-4, now 8-5, and maybe trying to even things up as Brown really been, come to life in this second half. That's his 8th point this second half.
Isaiah White checks in for Wyatt Lowell. And it's a completely different look that Isaiah White gives instead of Wyatt Lowell. So Brown makes both at the free throw line, extends that Red Hawk lead. 67-60. Bendequassa now to TJ Washington. TJ Washington stutter step back. Gives way to Jake Toulson, who's guarded by Burke. Jake Toulson gives back to Bendequassa. 10 on the shot clock for Utah Valley. Nequassa on the ground. 6 on the shot clock. Step back three-pointer. Rattles it home! 63-67. Utah Valley still within 4.
That was a huge shot. Again, a couple possessions back and forth. Wolverines haven't got a whole lot out of their offense. Big three by Bendequassa.
Isaiah White picks the pocket. Gives way to TJ Washington. DeCampo will be the culprit. That'll be DeCampo's second. And TJ Washington will go to the free throw line. Washington, who's been at the free throw line 8 times already tonight. This will be trip number 9. He's 7 for 8. Make that 8 for 9. And 9 for 10, 90%. And he brings Utah Valley and the Wolverines within 2, 65-67. And this has come to be the 2018-2019 WAC season right here. Just high intensity, close games. And if you don't like this, you don't like basketball. 15 on the shot clock with Means being guarded by Bendequassa. 10 on the shot clock now for Seattle U. Means stumbles with his dribble. Has to put one up. Desperation heave. DeCampo gets it. Solid possession by Utah Valley defensively. TJ Washington has that one chipped away. Jake Toulson has it, but lets it go out of bounds right in front of the first seat spectators who disagree and bemoan the officials.
Great hustle there by DeCampo. Nice job by Ian Burke saving that one for the Seattle Red Sox, but going back to what you had said, terrific defensive possession by the Wolverines. And, you know, Morgan Means just kind of seems out of place in the second half. Red Hawks are going to need him to get going and help gain a little production on the offensive end.
10 on the shot clock, shots put up. Harward with the rebound for Utah Valley. That's 2 consecutive trips by Terrell Brown that have been unsuccessful. 8:20. A basket here by Utah Valley will make this crowd erupt. They have a chance to take the lead for the first time in the contest. Jake Toulson wants it. Rims off. Eight minutes left to play in the game. 2-point ball game.
There's still a ton of time left in this one. I almost feel like we're down to the final 3 minutes with the intensity and back and forth of this one. A lot of time left, but
Carter showing off his athleticism with those jab steps. And he gets the foul called against Richard Harward. That'll be his 3rd personal. And Miles Carter will shoot some free throws when we return on the WAC Digital Network. 65-67. We got a good one here.
You only need to answer one question. Will you accept the challenge to become? No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests. From innovative exercise science, outdoor recreation to STEM programs, there's a place for you at Utah Valley University. A place to engage, to rise, to succeed, to become.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop. High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Well, it's been a wild one here in the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah, the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker, thanking you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening on the WAC Digital Network, on the KSL streaming app, on GoUView's YouTube and Facebook. We see Coach Pope drawing up a play, coaching up his Utah Valley Wolverines, who have stormed back. Again, we stressed they were down by over 20 points in the first half. They've come back and they're only down by 2. And it's been a back and forth battle between these two squads. They still haven't regained the lead. The Wolverines haven't. And you have to continue to give credit to Coach Jim Hayford and everything the Seattle Redhawks are doing.
Yeah, but what a response by these Wolverines to kind of, rise to the occasion and realize that, hey, our 20-game home win streak is on the line. We don't want someone to come in here and take it away from us. And both teams kind of, on a must-win situation here, as both dropped their first 2 conference games. But as you mentioned, Redhawks doing a good job of trying to weather this storm and weather this run by the Wolverines, as Miles Carter just long on that first one.
Miles Carter averages about 15 points a game so far this season for the Redhawks. And he misses that first free throw. He has 12 points so far on the contest. He's well within his average. The ref. And I believe the band was playing something while the Seattle U, Miles Carter, was trying to shoot a free throw. So the referees came over to the scores table, trying to make an announcement.
I think the rule is just you can't have any live instrument that's whistles, any type of anything. When someone's shooting a free throw there is, again, it's just the energy. It's just a change in the arena. Everyone wants to get involved and do everything they can to help these Wolverines out.
Carter successful on that second time. Now Utah Valley on the other end with 19 on the shot clock. Richard Harward looking for some help. Instead he's going to try and take it himself. He was successful last time. Nice give and go. Isaiah White with the flush. Thank you, Richard Harward. 67-68. Utah Valley down by 1 with 7:14 long minutes to go. Morgan Means still can't find the hoop since halftime. He had 20 points in the first half. He hasn't scored a bucket yet. Jake Toulson with an opportunity to take the lead for Utah Valley. And he does! With the left hand. The loudest that this crowd has been all game.
And I believe we got even the president of the school over there. She's got her pom-poms jumping up and down. Everyone getting excited and involved in this one.
Coach Jim Hayford continues to stress that he thinks that somebody has some sort of instrument that keeps playing, and they're trying to figure it out, whether it's coming from the band area or if it's somebody up in the rafters behind there. But
well, they got like a little bit of a kids area up top and kind of the overflow part of the arena here, and there's been music and things going on playing in the background. I'm sorry, but that's not going to contain this run right now that the Wolverines are making. I don't really think it's the music throwing off the vibe and rhythm for the Seattle U team. I think it's been the defense of the Wolverines stopping Morgan Means and this guy right here.
Utah Valley again misses. And they're going to call an offensive foul this time. This one's going to go against Miles Carter, and that'll be Miles Carter's third personal foul. Utah Valley again with the first lead since tip-off. 69-68 with 6:33 left to play. And what a monumental comeback this would be. But like you said, Holden, they got a lot of basketball left to play.
6.5 minutes left in this one, but you know, if they can continue to keep this rolling, Richard Harwood might be getting himself a game ball as his rolling what he's done coming off the bench and, you know, trying to fill the role of Carter McDougal. Looks like we got Jake Toulson down in the corner, kind of a similar situation that Morgan Means had earlier, just a little blood on his hand.
And it's a lot easier to show up when you're wearing white and green instead of wearing red and black.
That's right.
So they're trying to figure out whether or not to bring in a sub. But again, it's these little stoppages of time, whether it's to listen to some phantom band being played or to be checking out this blood. And that's Jake Toulson's shooting hand, and he has tape on it. It's really awkward positioning for the tape coming across the palm. But it's these stoppages here is really starting to disrupt the flow of play. And Richard Harwood, meanwhile, in the background, continues to make free throws. Largest lead of the game for Utah Valley, 2 points, 70-68 over the Redhawks of Seattle U. 6:33 left to play, and Harwood that's trying to see if he's got one more left in him, and he does. That's big time from Big Rich Harwood.
What productive minutes, not only putting the ball in the basket, but that little dump pass he had to Isaiah White for the dunk. And then what he's doing defensively and finishing out possessions as the Wolverines right now up by 3.
Ben Nikwasa steals it. He's on the other end with a head full of steam. Drives. Couldn't finish. Miles Carter stripped away by Isaiah White. And that one is going to go off of Carter. And that'll be Utah Valley basketball.
The tell of two halves. It's been
Seriously.
Seattle U now that they're looking around for anyone to step up into the role and kind of corral this one back as it quickly is slipping away here from the Seattle Redhawks.
Jake Toulson, who switched off the tape for just a Band-Aid. Step back three-pointer, Jake Toulson. No! And they're going to call a foul on the floor. And if that goes against Miles Carter, that'll be number 4. And that'll be against Miles Carter. And we'll take a media timeout break as well. Crazy things happening in the UCCU Center right now. We'll be right back to finish it up on the White Digital Network.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool, too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
It doesn't matter your situation in life.
No matter your interest.
Whether your first choice or second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you.
Place for you at UVU.
Place to engage,
To rise.
to succeed.
To become.
Utah Valley is on top 71-68 over the Redhawks of Seattle U, the largest lead of the game. And they changed the foul during that timeout. So Utah Valley will have more opportunities to extend its lead. It's Richard Harwood. Falls up short.
Yeah, they actually called a flagrant 1 there on Miles Carter. I didn't really see excessive contact. Maybe we'll get a glimpse at the offensive foul or the defensive foul call, but you know that clip was cut a little short for us. But Big Rich bouncing back, knocking down the second free throw there. We'll see if that flagrant 1 kind of controversial call ignites Miles Carter.
Jake Toolson corrals and guarded by DeCampo. Big Rich calling for it down low against Carter. Carter with 4 fouls, 1 more and he's done. Bendequas, alley-oop! Richard Harward! Game of his life right now for Utah Valley. (74-68), Utah Valley's largest lead. Carter a little bit out of control, but goes against big Richard Harward. And that'll be his 4th personal. And that's a lot of time left to be having a big man like that get 5 fouls.
Especially the moment that this has been for Big Rich. And again, it was such a, that one bounces out for Miles Carter, but it's such an emphasis for us and for the Wolverines coming into this one. Connor McDougal out with what looked like maybe a broken pinky finger. And maybe the worries of what that's going to impact their season moving forward, but Richard Howard stepping into that role here tonight.
74-69. Utah Valley on top, 5:13 left to play. Isaiah White thought he got fouled. Connor Toolson. And it looks like there's an injured Red Hawk. Delonte Jones is holding his right shoulder, and he is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, that doesn't look good for the Red Hawks there. Is Kavas already out for the Red Hawks here. Surprised there's not any medical attention coming out. Try to take a look at these guys here.
The way that he's holding it and the way that it's looking, it looks like it might be out of place. And I think they're going to call a trainer to come take a look at it. But Delonte Jones is visibly upset and in some pain. Delonte Jones, 6 of 9 from the floor, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. And he's being helped off by his coach, Jim Hayford. And you never want to see anybody get injured, especially in a contest like this. You want everybody to be at their best and healthy. Riley Grigsby will check in, and he's another Red Hawk with 4 fouls.
Yeah, gratefully for not only in this ball game, but for the Red Hawks in their season, Delonte Jones able to kind of show that he's got a pretty good range of motion on that shoulder, so hopefully nothing too serious for him.
5:08 left to play. Utah Valley on top by 5, 74-69. And the Wolverines with the ball, 12 on the clock. Jake Toolson guarded by DeCampo. Jake Toolson trying to find a crease. 6 on the shot clock, 5 on the clock. Jake Toolson rims off Isaiah White with the big board. Isaiah White draws the foul, goes back up. And if that's on Grigsby, then he is done. And Riley Grigsby has fouled out, the freshman from San Jose, California. Now Bailey Steele comes in for big Richard Harward. And Richard Harward gets a standing ovation from his family and friends, all in attendance behind the bench of Utah Valley. And it looks like Jones, his shoulder is feeling better as he comes back in. You've experienced things like that before, and adrenaline kind of takes over at a certain point, and he'll probably feel that tomorrow, no doubt.
Yes, he will, especially anything, you know, any type of like stinger or something that you get, we call it into that shoulder area, definitely will get sore. But, you know, the way the WAC play lays out, he's going to have 5 days to let that thing rest. And so, you know, definitely don't want to favor it and look towards any other game, as this one's definitely a must-win on both sides, and it continues to slip away from Seattle U. Again, for anyone joining us late, Seattle U in that first half up over 20 points against the Wolverines, and you know what a response and comeback it's been for the Wolverines in the second half.
Delonte Jones doesn't look fully healthy as he slips and falls, gives way. Utah Valley now with the ball. Isaiah White puts it on the floor, come from behind. Bailey still trying to put that one back in, missed. A little bit out of control offensively was Utah Valley. 4:20 left to play in the contest. Wolverines trying to play some defense. Seattle U trying to cut back. Nice bounce pass to DeCampo. Fouled by Bailey Steele.
Number 44, Bailey Steele his first. 8 Wolverine team foul.
And Bailey Steele has avoided foul trouble. That's only his first foul this whole game. Coach Jim Hayford wanted an interference call.
Yeah, he was definitely looking for that goaltend there. It looked like Bailey Steele's just hand kind of got caught in the net. Lucky for Bailey, it didn't get caught and didn't have something worse come out of it. But DeCampo been a big force defensively and rebounding wise for these Red Hawks. DeCampo right now with that free throw, 4 points on the game, but 9 rebounds.
DeCampo coming out strong against Jake Tilson. Utah Valley switching it up. Bailey Steele trying to set a screen for Nequasa. Now it's Jake Tilson's turn. 12 on the shot clock for Nequasa. 4-point lead for Utah Valley. Ben Nequasa, left hand floater off the glass and good. 77-71. Utah Valley opens up. 6-point lead. 3:40 left to play in regulation. Carter. Big drop step. And that foul's going to go against Bailey Steele. That'll be his second personal foul. And we'll take a timeout as Miles Carter will go to the line to shoot 2 when we return. Crazy one at the UCCU Center. We'll be right back to finish it up on the WAC Digital Network.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
You only need to answer one question. Will you accept the challenge to become? No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests, from award-winning accounting to marketing and entrepreneurship programs, there's a place for you at Utah Valley University. A place to engage, to rise, to succeed, to become.
Utah Valley right now on top, 77-71 over the Red Hawks of Seattle U. And this has just been a wild and crazy game. And this game, in and of itself, in a nutshell, all the cliches, whatever you want to say, has basically summed up this first week and a half or so of the Western Athletic Conference play. Just teams back and forth, crazily playing. And it really displays how close all these teams really are. And it really displays also the progression of this conference overall, top to bottom. And you've seen lots of schools make big steps, and it's going to be a fun rest of the way from here on out.
Yeah, every weekend, every game is going to mean so much. As I don't think there's a – I look through it again, I think every team in the conference has at least one loss already. And so as you mentioned, there's not just one juggernaut everybody's trying to chase how it's been in the past with New Mexico State. And again, the WAC doesn't have to look far for any storylines this past week. Because
Richard Harward right there, he just gobbled up his 12th rebound, 12 points, 12 points, 12 rebounds, double-double for 55. And a careless mistake at a crucial time for Utah Valley. 3:23 left to play. This game's still not over.
No, it's not. And again, it's been both sides we've seen. I mean, Seattle U scored 50 in that first half, and so they can put up points in a hurry. And 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, and we haven't seen much of Morgan Means, but it has been a whole lot of Trayvon Hopkins this second half as he Terrell Brown as he drops in his 15-point.
Seattle U elects to take a timeout. We'll stay here. Coach Pope, you see, trying to coach up his squad, again, emphasizing the fact this game's not over. This is crucial crunch time. On top by 3. They just gave it up in their last possession. And on the other side, if you're Jim Hayford, you know that Richard Harward, he has 4 personal fouls. And if I'm a guard, I attack.
Yeah, and both teams are in double bonus, and any points that Seattle you can get from the free throw line of that stop with the clock stop now is big possessions for them. And again, Coach Pope just emphasizing how each possession is so big and crucial, and to take care of that ball with everything you've got, as this thing clicks under 3 minutes.
Morgan Means very aggressive against Connor Toulson. Richard Harward trying to get a screen set for Jake Toulson, but DeCampo just too quick for him. Finally, Jake Toulson goes around him. Jake Toulson and 1, draws the foul. 3-point opportunity for number 2.
Jake is just so patient and waited until he got DeCampo exactly where he wanted, and then that right-handed hook, that is tough. And he gets it to come so soft off the glass there. We've got a chance to make this a 6-point game. And
Jake Toulson finishes that one. 3-point play. Papa Jake Toulson always representing for Baby Gus as he continues his dominance tonight. 21 points for Jake Toulson. 80-74. Utah Valley has not had a lead larger than 6. Terrell Brown has been carrying the Seattle Redhawks team all throughout the second half. That foul's going to go against Connor Toulson, but if you heard a yell in the background, that was Isaiah White for Utah Valley, and he just screamed the word rebound, trying to really emphasize what we've been trying to talk about all game, really.
And you need someone out there on the team. It doesn't work if it's just always coming from the coach and the bench to rebound and rebound. If you got a teammate that's holding you accountable to that, it's tough not to block out your man that next possession, knowing you're letting your guy next to you down.
That's DeCampo's 5th and 6th points on the evening, brings the Redhawks within 4. 2:28 left to play in the contest. Jake Toulson gets DeCampo, stutter steps again. Jake Toulson again, and 1. Acrobatic Jake strikes again. And Jake Toulson with the flair for the dramatic, dives over an extra bench down by the baseline over the photographer's table. Shakes it off, says it's no big deal. And he did a belly flop slide, safe into home plate. Looks like Connor Toulson got a scratch on his eye. They're trying to patch up off to the side. And Jake Toulson finds his composure to sink the free throw. .24 points for Jake Toulson. Foul's called on the floor. Isaiah White's third personal foul. Connor Toulson comes over to try and get cleaned up, and he does have a fairly good-sized gash on his face. Jake Toulson coming over to try and get this expedited process. Basketball. Nobody said it was a physical sport, right?
Well, my question is, everybody's going over here, and as we only have 2 minutes left, and this thing's a 7-point game. Is, what's the largest first half deficit that the Wolverines have ever overcame.
2 years ago in Denver, they were down by 27.
In a single half. And obviously that set records across the NCAA, and
that was the second biggest comeback in NCAA Division I history, and it was only off by 3 points. But as you can see, there are multiple Wolverines.
Terrell Brown stepped into the free throw line. He's had himself his second half here tonight. He's 5 for 11, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Make that 2 of 3 from the free throw line. 4 assists and 3 steals to go along with that.
2:10 left to play, 83-76. And Terrell Brown continues to be the key factor on the offensive side for Utah Valley to keep him in the game. Excuse me, for Seattle U, keep him in the game. 83-77, 2 minutes left to play. Connor Toulson has his pocket picked by guess who? TJ Washington had a hand on it, and they're going to call a foul on TJ Washington. And this is a time where the game can slip away from Utah Valley if they don't buckle down. And Seattle U's thriving on this.
Yeah, and Terrell Brown, he's the one that forced that turnover and took it the other way. See if Miles Carter can capitalize on the opportunity. And Long on this attempt. He struggled from the free throw line tonight. Excuse me, in the second half. He's actually 8 of 10, 80% from the free throw line, so a terrific free throw shooter. Just has missed those 2 down the stretch here late.
Both Miles Carter and Richard Harward playing with 4 fouls. And now Seattle U with the full court pressure. Jake Toulson gives away to Isaiah White. 23 on the shot clock, 1:43 left to play. Ben DeQuassa gets fouled by Morgan Means. Ben DeQuassa tonight at the free throw line. This is the first time he's actually gone to the free throw line. And DeQuassa misses the front end.
Looked like Ben kind of messed up his routine there on that third dribble. Kind of threw him out of rhythm or out of the normal sequence of what he does.
DeQuassa makes the second, 84-78. 1:40 left to play, Wolverines on top. Means with the bucket. Brown back to Carter. Carter misses. Richard Harward with the big rebound. Ben DeQuassa with the great body turn. Ben DeQuassa will go back to the free throw line.
Richard Harward continues to close out possessions and get big rebounds down the stretch for the Wolverines. Richard Howard now in the game with 13 rebounds and 12 points as Ben DeQuassa. This is the front end of the one-on-one, or excuse me, the front end of that trip to the free throw line.
Richard Harward tying his shoe, maybe trying to give Ben DeQuassa a little bit more time. Ben DeQuassa makes the second free throw, 85-78. 1:23 left to play. Morgan Means still hasn't scored yet this half. Richard Harward draws the foul. Big man, easily the game of his life tonight.
Excellent job by Richard Howard of staying in there. Excellent job of recognizing Morgan Means coming in there out of control. Again, we mentioned it before, but that game ball is going to Richard Howard as he's got a double-double. And the Wolverines lead 85-78.
'85-78, Utah Valley on top. Richard Harwood continued to have a career night, and he's drawn some attention on social media from some former teammates. Zach Nelson tweeting in. Richard Harwood showing up for his hometown. Outlet pass to Isaiah White. Thought he got fouled in the process. Roof would have come off if you threw that one down. Brown on the other end has ideas of his own. Tipped out of play by Richard Harwood. Look at that swagger by number 55. 69 seconds left to play. 85-78. Big three ball in the corner. Missed by Seattle U. Bendequassa for Utah Valley with the rebound. Gives way to Jake Toulson. Now past the timeline and Connor Toulson. And Utah Valley will try and run off as much clock as they can. And they're going to call Morgan Means with the foul. He wanted a jump ball. And Morgan Means quickly with 5 fouls. So Morgan Means, who had 20 points in the first half, didn't score a single point in the second half.
Yeah, and that all goes to obviously recognition by the staff and emphasis in the locker room coming out of it, but Connor Toulson executed that and took on that call. He really stepped up in the second half, and again, as you mentioned, held Means to 0 points, and that last 3-point shot in the corner, I think, was his only second shot attempt in the entire second half. And so, you know, Morgan Means, obviously he grows and matures, and need to recognize if I'm hot and my team needs me, I got to keep building off of that. But Connor Toulson wanted nothing to do with it.
Jake Toulson continues to be effective and successful at the charity stripe tonight, padding that lead for Utah Valley. Jake Toulson makes both free throws. 87-78. Biggest lead on the night. Step back three-pointer. Rims off. Harwood with another big rebound for Utah Valley.
It looks like that one's going to do it as the Redhawks kind of call off the Dogs, and they're not going to force a foul here to extend this one. What a win by the Wolverines. Again, down over 20 points in the first half.
Bendequassa struggling with that ball, loses it out of control. And that's going to go against Trey Hopkins. That'll be his third personal foul. Bendequassa misses the free throw, even though his teammates and coaches still say it's okay, trying to let him just regain some composure at the charity stripe. 87-78. Make that 88-78. So 10-point ball game, 21 seconds left. Crazy things have happened, but looks like you can tuck this one in bed, turn out the light, shut the door and say goodnight, as Utah Valley will come from behind and be victorious for their 21st consecutive home game victory at home. Final score from Utah Valley, 88-78. Wolverines victorious tonight in Orem.
What a game. Again, we mentioned before, the game ball has got to go to Richard Howard, but Jake Toulson this team goes the way Jake goes. Jake, we don't have the final stats, but going to end up close to a double-double himself as he really stepped up his play in the second half and led the Wolverines to this 88-78 victory. And first win of WAC play for the Wolverines tonight, as they really needed this one, as they had dropped the first two on the road, but did what they needed to and taking care of business here at home.
Utah Valley, again, coming into this game, no Connor McDougal. Monte Cavas absent for Seattle. Tonight, we see that big Richard Harward stepped up for Utah Valley when he needed to. Again, double-double from Richard Harward. And again, a name that were people in the conference might not have necessarily recognized, but Richard Harward stepped up when his teammates needed him to. And Utah Valley, again, comes from behind. This will go up there in Coach Pope's little marquee, a short marquee in his tenure that he's been here, but this will go up there as one of the premier moments, especially at home. One
of the most dramatic moments, right, to say the least. That was what a game for him and his team, and it's something to build off of as well.
Harward's final stat line for you: 15 boards, 12 rebounds. Jake Toulson, 9 of 9 from the free throw line, 8 of 13 from the floor, 26 points in total. And it was an all-around team effort for Utah Valley in this contest. And this is one of the few times Utah Valley has won when they've lost the rebounding battle.
But it was, a 10-point or a 10-rebound margin in that first half. As we will wait for Coach Pope here, and him and the team makes the rounds of, saying thanks to everybody coming out tonight. But again, you mentioned Richard's performance, and we've actually got Richard right here, courtside.
There's Alexa O'Neill with Richard Harward.
Congratulations on your win tonight. Tonight you really had to step it up, play well.
Excuse me, if I could just grab your attention for just a few seconds. So, we have a young man here named Richard Harward, who for the last 2 years has slaved away every single day, coming and working his tail off and getting no love and no playing time, and every day being about the team, 100% invested, working as hard as anybody, straight out of Orem High School. Let's give it up for Richard Harward!
So will you talk a little bit about how the game felt tonight with all the fans, the great win, the great comeback?
Man, I just love our fans. They're out there cheering us on. No matter what's happening, they're always there. We were down 20 at one point, and they cheered us on right into the victory.
Thank you so much.
Big Rich is a man of many words. And again, his final stat line tonight, Big Richard Harward, 15 rebounds, 12 points, 4 of 4 from the floor, 4 of 6 from the free throw line in 20 minutes of play. And Big Richard Harward came up huge when he needed to. And this Utah Valley team stormed back again, like Alexa pointed out, down 20. And then they came back.
I believe that was a 60-point, nearly a 60-point second half there by the Wolverines. And so, unbelievable, scoring by Jake Toulson, Connor Toulson, and Richard Howard leading the way. What a win, what an exciting time for the Wolverines, and a great win. Again, a dramatic win going into the first one here for this WAC season.
So Utah Valley starts the 2019 portion of the season at home with the victory, the first in conference play, but the 21st consecutive at home, and they continue to prove how dominant they are here and how tough it is for other teams to be victorious here. Utah Valley will stay here this next week as they host a pesky UTRGV team who shall not be underestimated. We've seen what they can do and the damage that they can do in this conference. They will take them on Thursday, followed by just a little-known team from New Mexico, the New Mexico State Aggies on Saturday. So Utah Valley, they've got their work cut out for them this next week.
Yeah, and this was, again, a terrific one to build off of, a huge second half, and kind of, feeling that question of what are we going to do with Connor McDougal out. Richard Howard, as you mentioned, that, kind of football term of step up, next man mentality, and, Richard Howard filled that tonight. But again, that man right there, Jake Toulson, and back-to-back and ones down the stretch to really extend the lead, and he finished with 26 points, and the Wolverines needed every one of them tonight.
Again, the final score here in Orem, Utah. Utah Valley victorious 88-78 over the Redhawks of Seattle U. For all of our hardworking staff and crew behind the scenes, for Holden Hunsaker, I'm Brandon Crow saying so long and good night from Orem, Utah. Light the UCCU Center green tonight. Utah Valley is victorious.